Spirit has really wanted to let you know that the injustice that you've been facing was all to do with pushing you towards the next step in life. That without it, you wouldn't have made the necessary changes if somebody hadn't treated you badly. Sometimes we need that push in order to chase after what is really right for us. So we are going to go into the collective energy to start with, and then we're going to do the individual star signs. So what else do you need to know about this? Because it definitely feels like it's a positive, even though you're having to deal with a lot of crap right now. With the reverse of the King of Wands here, there is going to be a lot of issues with them not communicating. Almost like fractured communications, like they'll tell you one thing, but they won't tell you the whole story. They'll tell you just enough to get by, but you'll be constantly confused over, well, what is the next step? What do I need to do? And this is partly because they haven't got a clue. You know, they haven't got a clue themselves what the next step is, so they can't really tell you, this is what I expect of you, this is what I expect you to do next, because they don't really understand it themselves. We've got the King of Swords here though. You are racing forward with action. So regardless of whether or not they know what's going on, you're having to chase forward with action. You're making changes, you're making plans. And I do feel like this is good because I feel like it's making you be recognised by somebody above them or recognised by somebody else that is going to say, you're actually doing a really good job at this. You're actually doing really well on this. You're just being almost like undiscovered. With the Eight of Pentacles here though, I do feel like you're dealing with somebody who isn't really understanding long-term financial goals or long-term finances. So they're very much like instant gratification, instant fun. They're not really thinking, okay, how is this going to shape me 5-10 years down the line, or even like 6 months down the line. They're not very good at seeing that through. And then they end up with trouble down the lines because they haven't planned for that. You know, they haven't made positive change in life for the future. There is going to be some necessary focus on what you need to work on here to gain more money, to gain momentum in your career and finances. I feel like this is almost like stripping it back to the bare minimum, choosing what is going to be the most bang for your bucks. And I do feel like in general, this is going to kind of push you towards the next level that you didn't really have before. So this is almost like getting to the stage of going, you know what, I'm kind of proud of myself, I'm kind of glad about myself, you know, I really pushed myself into a new momentum. And in some ways it's better that they aren't communicating with you, because that's giving you the real freedom here to explore what you want to do and how you want to control things in going forward. So this is like going, I'm not going to kind of like focus on what they're doing, I'm going to focus what I'm doing, and that's planning some things out for you long term. So we're going to go on to your star signs now. So what does Aries need to know today? So what does Aries need to know coming in from Spirit? So we have got the Five of Swords here. You're going to have a lot of challenging things you need to get done at once. I almost feel like this is the problem here of going, oh, you know, I've got to do this, I've got to do something else, I've got to like do 500 things, you know. You've got to do so much. It is going to be a little bit draining here because you're having to almost like take on the world on your own. So do bear this in mind that they're expecting you to do more than like most people could handle, but you're doing it really well though, Aries, so you need to give yourself a little bit of a pat on the back about that. Taurus. We have got the Three of Swords here. If you've ever heard the term like eating the frog, it's the idea of doing the hardest thing first each day, because that'll then push you forward with momentum to do the rest of your tasks. Because when we are avoiding the hardest thing, it makes it very difficult to do anything else, because everything else seems like a drag. But as soon as we've done that difficult thing, we can kind of get on with things. We kind of just kind of go, okay, I'm not worried about it, I'm not procrastinating now, I'm just going to enjoy things. And that's what you need to do here to really free up your time. Geminis. We have got the reverse of the High Priestess here. So with the reverse of the High Priestess, I do feel like there is an element here of not really having the full focus that you'd expect. More than anything here with the reverse of the High Priestess, I do feel like although you're just not getting the respect that is owed to you, you're also not respecting your own intuition here. So you're doubting yourself, you're causing problems because you're not trusting your own intuition and what you believe you should get done. Next up is Cancers. Cancers, we got the Knight of Swords here. So you're choosing to speed in and take action. You're definitely kicking ass and taking names here. You're definitely ploughing forward and really pushing on. And one thing I would say is you need a little bit of an overview of everything first before you make any big plans. So try and get that. Next up we've got is Leo. So Leo, we've got the reverse of the Moon card here. I feel like this is you letting go of emotions that are tying you down, letting you down. This is almost like you kind of doing a big emotional purge. You're calming yourself. You're getting to a point where you can kind of focus more because of this emotional calm. So allow that to happen. Allow that calm to come in. Virgos here. Lack of communication. And I feel like there's a lot of people here that should be communicating and are not. You're going to have to take a little bit of sidestep out, change things up on your own. And I feel like this is because you're kind of outgrowing the people around you. You're turning from like a caterpillar into a butterfly and everything else is just stuck as worms, you know? So understand that you're outgrowing them and this is part of the process. Libras. So, focusing on your long-term plans of finances, your career finances, that kind of thing, is going to be very more important today. It's really going to set you apart and really set you into a better standing later on. Next up we got is Scorpio. So Scorpio, lots of changes here, and I feel like your ability to react is going to be the most important today. More than anything is like, how do I react to things when they're not playing out the way I expected? When unexpected bills come up, when unexpected activities have to be done. And the fact that you can kind of weave through and out them and deal with them is going to be really good for you. Yes, it's not fair, but unfortunately, things do just change sometimes and people are going to respect you more the fact that you can change with things and you're not just stagnant. Next up is Sagittarius. Sagittarius, we've got the cups here, the Four of Cups. I feel like actually there is a lot on offer here and it's just you more cherry picking what you want, but there is a lot of abundance here for you. So really focus on what you really want and let the rest go. Capricorns. With the Queen of Cups here, it feels like somebody is draining your energy, draining your finances, just draining you in general. I do feel like this is either a friend or a family member, not like a work colleague though. This person is kind of a bit of a drain, so be careful about that because it's almost like they kind of act on sympathy, trying to get sympathy from you, and it causes problems later on. Aquarius. We've got the Three of Cups here in reverse. With the Three of Cups in reverse, I do feel like this is your abundance coming from almost like fear. Your abundance is being drained because of fear, should I say. So your abundance is being affected by the fact that you've been kind of afraid to spend anything for so long. You kind of get yourself in this tense position. You need a little bit of fun here today. Yes, not spending all your money on just fun things, but give yourself some treats, some little treats, because that will actually help to bring in more money later on and better finances, because you won't be as like so apprehensive and so stressed about money. And lastly, we've got is Pisces. So Pisces, we've got the Chariot card. There is a lot of movement forward here for you, but it is bringing more balance into your life between what you like to do and what is earning you money, what is giving you money. And I feel like more than anything, this is kind of propelling your career forward in a real positive direction. But also just in general, it's de-stressing you because you're just spending more time doing what you enjoy. All right, take